What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Friday over here. Markets not doing too much. Well, I hope at least you guys are doing well, but markets are not doing too much. We have the stock market bouncing back a little bit from the Fed rate hike meeting just 2 days ago. We do have Bitcoin currently not doing too much at all, underneath 27K. What could be happening in this crypto markets? Of course, when Bitcoin actually dropped below 27K, it did bring down quite a bit of these altcoins. Let's see what will be Bitcoin's next move. Will it actually get a bounce from here, or will it continue downwards and bring down quite a bit of these altcoins again? Of course, the main topic of this video is going to be about Atom, which is the Cosmos token. See what's going on in this market. It will be an updated post from my last post. We'll also be taking a look into some upwards and downwards price targets for this coin, see if anything has changed. Going to be taking a look into some key price levels for this coin to break to go either direction as well. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my personal opinions and sentiments on this market later in this video, so make sure to stay around for that. Lastly, none of what I'm saying here is financial advice, of course. It is purely my personal opinions and speculations. I could very well be wrong. I am not an elite trader or financial advisor of any sorts, even though I am a profitable trader who's been able to keep most of my profits during the last bear market. But I'm looking to crush it here for the next bull cycle. So if you guys feel the same way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into this video. All right, so let's go ahead and go right into Cosmos real quick, okay? And then we'll talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is not doing too much here. And while we still do need to pay attention to Bitcoin, let's talk about Cosmos first. Okay, let's come over here to the weekly time frame where we have actually left off from the last post. Okay, so my last post on Cosmos, what has really changed here? In my opinion, nothing really. Okay, we did get a slight bounce from the bottom trend line here. Let me go ahead and close up the bottom trend line, okay? So we talked about this falling wedge scenario where this price action, if it breaks out, it could go up to as high as about $19 for measure targets. Now, measure targets are estimates only, okay? It could be under, over. So, make sure you know the idea of what a measure target is. It is, it's a trading concept, so you guys can actually go ahead and Google search it, verify it for yourself, learn these trading concepts yourself. Measure targets, measure moves, falling wedges, whatever I talk about here. If it sounds like a technical term, Google it, okay? Because at the end of the day, what's most important is that you guys actually learn these trading concepts and be able to judge it for yourself, judge this market for yourself, given any charts, okay? Now, if the price action breaks out by, so this future breakout date I chose last time will still be valid because it's still in the future, and I think it's still reasonable. This would be January, the first week of January next year. Okay, I think this would still be reasonable given how far we are away from that upper trend line there, right? If it actually does break out, then the measure target would be about $19. That's more than half, more than double the current price right now, okay? So quite a bit of a upside. But falling wedges, they typically break to the upside, of course, but you also have to consider the downside as well, because nothing is certain in this market. So always got to be paying attention to this chart here, even though it's a pretty slow moving chart, right? Let's take a look into the daily time frame and see if we can get any clues on what the next move is. So on this daily time frame here, we see that there was a bounce here, quite a bit of bullish divergence. So basically that is when you get a lower low on the price action chart on this daily time frame, but you're getting equal or higher lows on the RSI. That is bullish divergence, and it usually signals a bounce where we did get one, right? Now the price action is back on top of the daily 21 SMA. It's done that before, so it's nothing really special. Let's see if the price action can reclaim the daily 50 SMA, right, and hold it, right? That'll be something that we haven't seen for, even 2 months almost. So that'll be, that'll be something to at least look for. It'll be at least a good sign, right, in the short term. Of course, if you guys start getting, if you guys see Cosmos start reclaiming some of these higher moving averages, that'll be even better signal. Let's take a look into some key price levels going up, okay? These are going to be your resistances for this price action to go upwards. Let's start with the weekly time frame here, which I usually do because it gives me a pretty good idea of what's going on in the medium term. So the weekly 21 SMA is currently about $8.85 area. Weekly 50 SMA is about $10.50 area. Weekly 200 SMA, the orange line here, at about $13 area. The 3-day 21 SMA would be the $7.65 area, right? The price action hasn't really gotten on top of the 3-day 50 SMA for a little while either. So this would be a pretty important test in the upcoming, next few days, right? 3-day 50 SMA currently at about $9 area. 3-day 200 SMA about the $13 area. And then we have the daily moving averages here. I think I just named them, so let's go ahead and go to the monthly. If not, you guys can go and see it for yourself, right? I used the 21, 50, and the 200 SMA. You guys can use whatever you guys are comfortable with, but those are the ones I am used to using. Now, the monthly 50 SMA is at about $12 area. Monthly 21 SMA, the blue line here, currently at about $13.50 area. Okay, so pretty high up there. Let's take a look into the downside here. Now, note that I have just named the noticeable key resistances going upwards. There are going to be other resistances going upwards as well. You guys can actually take a look for yourself into whatever time frame you guys are focusing on and refer back to past trading history for previous resistance going upwards. But because there's so many major moving averages going upwards, I just named those for time's sake. Let's take a look into the downside here. Always got to consider the downside. So if this price action was to break down, right, that is still a possibility. It's not as big of a possibility as it breaking upwards, but it is still a possibility, right? Now, the first key level of support that I'll be looking at if this price action was to break down, we're at one, right? At about that $7 area. The next one down here I'm seeing would be $6.50 area, which would be coming from these candles right here from October 2020 to January 2021, right? And then coming down some more for the next level would be about, I would say, $6, that $5.80 something to $6 area. Okay, so let me reiterate. The first level down, $6.50 area. The next level down would be about the $6 area. So those are going to be your next two key levels of support if this price action is to start breaking down. Of course, you guys can, if this price action was to keep running within this falling wedge pattern, you guys can refer to the bottom trend line as well for the next key levels if they don't already intersect. That's basically what I'm seeing here for Cosmos, Atom, right? Let's take a look into Bitcoin real quick because very important what's going on in here. We just had a pretty big down day, you know, right after the Fed meeting. So we're gonna see how this market could affect the overall altcoin market. It's very important to keep an eye out on this chart, right? So we had the huge red candle coming from Thursday, right? That was basically sometime around Wednesday this time, you know, Pacific Standard Time, going into Thursday. That's basically right after the Fed meeting. Had a huge red candle, right? And then basically we got rejected by the daily 50 SMA, which is the gray line here, currently at about 27K, right? I talked about this 4-hour falling wedge right here where the price action did break out of, and we get a measure target up to about 29K area, right? Price action is still holding up this breakout, okay? It is still above this breakout. It's still valid. And then price action formed a rising wedge at first and then rising channel, both of which are bearish patterns. After it formed that rising channel, it did finally break down. Now let's take a look into an even smaller time frame for Bitcoin on the hourly time frame here. So I am seeing a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern, okay? Let's take a measure target from this small rising wedge here, something to be looking out for. Let's see if the price action can actually break to the upside again. Let's see if the Bitcoin bulls are strong enough here. But if it doesn't, if it's not able to push to the upside, especially you know, during the weekends, then you know, we could probably be looking at a measure move down to about 26.4, 26.3K-ish area. Okay, if it breaks out in the next couple of hours, of course, you guys can measure, you know, move this measurement just along this upper, this bottom trend line here. You guys can probably get a higher breakdown, right? So something to be looking out for, a small rising wedge. Now, my personal sentiment on this market is I am long on quite a bit of these altcoins at this moment. I am overall still bullish as long as we can stay away from this breakdown I've been talking about, which is the weekly time frame here, this double top pattern, right? As long as we can stay away from this confirmed breakdown, which is about 24.7K. Weekly 50 SMA is coming up to the price action, to that neckline, so that's pretty good, right? So that's basically what I'm seeing so far. If enough of you guys want me to do an update on Cosmos, please like, subscribe, comment, and I will bring you guys an update on Cosmos if enough of you guys want to see it. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys later.